guys!
Hey, hey! Welcome to this week's episode.
Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my fiance Davey. We are living aboard our new to us hurricane-damaged catamaran, Barefoot 2.0. We met in Fiji 3 years ago and have experienced so many beautiful places together. For the past 2 years, we've made the ocean our home, starting on our Catalina 36 in the States and the Northern Caribbean. We hope to one day circumnavigate the globe, but for now we are fixing our boat one step at a time. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. When faced with a challenge, look for a way, not a way out. So just a bit of a haul-out update. We are still here on the floating dock at the moment. We've been in communication with Marina Tropical over the way.
We're having a meeting over there. We've got everything in writing for price, timing,
They
what the
can
rules
haul
are.
us out. They do have space available, which is awesome. We've gotten a quote, and we just have to give them 3 days notice of when we want to actually be pulled out of the water. So the thing that we're kind of struggling with at the moment is we need to order supplies. So,
yeah. But I think we found some in Santo Domingo. No.
You get it wrong every single time.
What is it called? Santiago, which is about an hour or so drive from here. So a friend of ours called a friend of his there, went into the hardware store, and they found out that they do actually have a type of barrier coat, epoxy barrier coat that we'll need to put on straight after we've done the fiberglassing repairs.
So if we were to buy these supplies from the States and have them shipped in through common cargo, it would take about 3 weeks for them to get here.
Approximately. It could be more.
Could be more. So we really don't want to be on the hard longer than we have to. So hopefully we can find the supplies we need here in the Dominican Republic.
So we're actually doing our research first, not like when we started the hardtop, we just believed we could get everything here. So we've made a list of what we need, and we're starting to source it here. What we can't get here, we can get small items shipped in through Amazon. So yeah, we're putting a plan together, but we don't want to get hauled out too quick and early if we haven't got the products to do the job.
But the situation down in the bilge, it is all good at the moment. The bilge pump is keeping up with it. You did a little bit
did a little bit of strengthening, slowed it down a little bit with waterproof epoxy. But it's still leaking, it's still coming in, but there's nothing disastrous. We're not going to sink, but we're obviously not going on any trips. So we're not going out, motoring out into the deep blue ocean at the moment. But we're safe and sound here as we are at the moment. Everything works.
So once we can source some of these supplies and get a little bit more confident on that, then we will give the yard the 3 day notice and we will be pulled out. So it could be a week or two, or it could be the end of this week. It could be, I don't know. We'll find out.
What's today? Today is Friday?
Today is... It's October 2nd.
It's October 2nd, Friday, October 2nd. So I reckon on Monday morning, we'll probably head to that Santiago, not Santo Domingo, Santiago.
Every single time.
Go there, check it out for ourselves. If we've got the product, we'll buy it, we'll come back, we'll arrange for a midweek call out. So let's see, we don't know what's going to be in next week's episode until we start doing something.
We want to do a massive shout out to all of our patrons and all of the people who have donated a little bit of money towards this haul out process. We weren't expecting to do it.
Thank you very much for all of you guys that are helping out towards this.
Yeah, you are incredible and just can't say enough.
No.
So, thank you so much.
I
want coffee. Mm-hmm. Can you make me coffee?
I'll make you coffee. So, this morning got a little project going on. Erica wanted some coffee. While we've been here in Lupron, we have actually had the luxury of borrowing a small generator, a little Honda 2000, off of our neighbour boat here, SV Freya. You might have caught them online. They've got a little YouTube channel. Anyway, they're away, so they've lent us this. But yesterday afternoon, I've been using it just to do a little bit of grinding on the dock. Yesterday afternoon, I was running it. It was actually just in tick over, no load on it, just in tick over, and it suddenly just stopped working. It just cut out. So I have checked. We've got fuel in it, obviously. So what I'm going to do is run through a few basic checks on it this morning. So let's have a look and see what we find. See if we can't fix this little beauty, so we can put some coffee on for Erica. She gets a bit grumpy if she doesn't get a coffee in the morning. One of the first things I want to check is the carburetor, make sure that there isn't any water that's come from the fuel. I know the fuel is pretty good, it's the dinghy fuel that we've been using. I'm just going to drain a bit of this fuel out and then lock it off. Make sure that there's no water sitting in the bottom of the carby there. I'm just get a rag to clean that up. So we drain that. While we're here, what we'll do is we'll check the oil as well. That is full, exactly to the level there of the lip. I believe that's slightly overfilled, but I'm not too concerned. That's exactly how we got the generator, how our friends have been running it. So it's got oil in it, hasn't run dry. Checking for any loose connections. You know, maybe something's just rattled itself loose. A hose, a connection, a wire, a breather or something. Everything seems to be pretty much in place. Let's try and fire it up anyway, just so we have drained a little bit of fuel off there. That's a no-go. That's still exactly the same as it was. All right, let's check other stuff we can check. We got an air filter. We've also got a spark plug. Air filter looks pretty easy to get to. Ah, that's not a good sign. You see there, guys? This is an air filter. Oh, it's falling apart. See that air filter? That's absolutely falling apart. So, wouldn't surprise me. There's a piece missing there. Wouldn't surprise me. That's been sucked up through this cavity here where you get the air intake for the carburetor. So that's the direction I want to follow, because that really is not supposed to be like that. That's supposed to be like a nice sponge that air can go through, and that's literally disintegrating in my fingers. Not seeing anything in there. I hope that hasn't gone all the way in through to the carb. Okay guys, so I've had a look at the carburetor. Everything seems to be working as it should be. I mean, I haven't stripped it down to check out the jets or anything, but after looking at that air filter, that's not going to get into the fuel system. That's not going to get into the fuel in here and block a jet, as the air actually just flows through and it gets restricted by these little butterflies, i.e. with the choke and with your throttle. The throttle control on here is electronic. It tells it how much power it wants to give depending on how much power it's trying to generate. So that all looks clean. The gaskets look good. I've drained everything out of here. No dirt came out of the bowl at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to assemble this back up. Then I'm going to actually go to the spark plug, because look in here, if that rubbish there went into the cylinder and burnt, it might have actually just mucked up the spark plug, and that might be our issue. So I'm going to reassemble this for the moment, as I don't see anything obvious here. Alright, let's move on to the spark plug. That should be in here. It's the spark plug for you. It's a bit black, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to give that a clean up with a wire brush. Okay, so I am getting a spark there. All I did is I put the screwdriver against the casing of the engine and the spark plug on it and look for a spark in the middle there. Now, we definitely have spark. I'm going to see if that cleaning up the spark plug did anything. To do that, I'm going to have to put the front of the air filter back on. Erica's come with the kettle already.
Is it working?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
The crap from the air filter got through to the spark plug, as far as I can see. So I cleaned up the spark plug, used a bit of start gas, and Yeah, she fired up. So I've just cleaned out the whole system basically. Yeah. Let's make some coffee. Success! We have hot water. It's nice and hot.
They're so good. Thanks, babe.
Okay, so the reason we've been using the generator is actually due to a lack of gas on the boat here. So what we've been using is this camping stove, which is actually the same as way we did it on the old Barefoot. This is where we did it. Unfortunately, here in the DR, we can't get hold of these little canisters. So we want to be able to use this one, the big 3 burner. But the problem being with that one, I'm going to take you outside with me. Just going to have a little look. Problem being here is on this boat, what we have is we have 2 of these. I think they're 5 or 8 pound bottles, 2 of them. So they're purposely made for this size locker. You can't get a bigger bottle in there. And also these are butane. So one, the regulator is for butane, not for propane, and you can't fill a butane bottle up with propane. The reason being for this one is that if you overfill, well, not if you overfill, but if you fill it to the full correct pressure, the full maximum amount, for example 5 kilos, whatever it is, with propane it's a much higher pressure, so you have the risk of an explosion. If it actually gets too hot, if the bottle sits in the sun, something like that, you could actually have an explosion on the boat. People do say that you can fill a butane bottle with propane, but only if you fill it 50% of the way up. And to be honest, we don't want to take chances like that. So what I've done is I bought another regulator here, which will connect on. I take this one off, the butane one, put a propane one on, and we're going to do an experiment. We're actually going to just connect up a bottle from a friend, a big bottle. We'll put it out here on the floor. And as far as we can tell by the research that we've done with this type of stove, this here is actually set up for both butane and propane, as long as you've got the right regulator on it. So wish us luck. That's something we're going to try in the next week or so.